you all.
Great, thank you, Dr. Gabrielle Gabrielli. We also have a national coach and speaker and a number of other things. I refer to her as the etiquette guru. She is a dear friend of mine and mentor, Miss Sabrina Samuels.
Well, thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it, Samantha. Samantha and I have been knowing each other for a long time. She's a dynamic woman, and I'm honored to be joining you today. My company is called the Beckman Method. What we do is we work with people building self-esteem, poise, grace, elegance, etiquette, and protocol. We do it all. And we love what we do. We also have a television show called Sabrina Samuels Show on YouTube. So I hope you check that out when you have an opportunity. And I'll be talking to you today about text messaging and email messaging. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. All right, and next we have Dr. Lacey Robbins.
Hi, everybody. I am so excited to be able to connect with you on today. I'm Dr. Lacey C. Robbins of Robbins Nest Consulting, founder of the Everyday Business Conference, consultant to small and mid-sized businesses, and coach to women who are ready to use their knowledge, their background, and their expertise, which you already have, to build a platform and make more money. On today, I'm really excited to talk with you ladies about 5 tips and strategies to build yourself while building others. It's going to be a great time. Thank you again, Samantha, for this invitation. I'm super excited to connect with you ladies on today.
Great, thank you, Dr. Robbins, dynamic woman there. Also, we have Meredith Ward, my cousin, joining us all the way from Texas.
Hey, hey, ladies. I hope everybody is good. My name is Meredith Ward. I am a career and business strategist. I'm also the founder and CEO of 2 double minority owned and operated companies based in Dallas, Texas. One is a staffing company by the name of All Positions. The second is my dear personal brand. It's called In Charge Career Consulting, where I focus on helping women to become full-time and profitable business owners, as well as influential leaders in their careers. So I'm going to be speaking with you guys today on the topic of becoming a leader in life, and I'll be focused on evolving and the purpose of doing it and how you can go about doing it as you become a leader.
Excellent. All right, and we also have with us Miss Audra, my 5 a.m. buddy.
My name is Audra Fournier. I own Partners for a Solution. I'm a certified professional life and master business coach. I'm also the publisher of 2 magazines here locally in Tallahassee, and I host a show called Tuesdays with Audra, where I interview business owners to learn more about how they've progressed through the ownership of their business, because my passion and mission in life is leading others to success. And I am happy and honored to be here and cannot wait to learn more about all of you.
Great. And lastly, but not least, we have Miss Christine.
Hi, everybody. My name's Christine. I am known in Tallahassee as your local hug dealer. So my mission is to leave everyone feeling better than when I found them. I am a serial entrepreneur. Currently, I own my own beauty service company called Tally Beauty Girl. We also have an online blog, which is a resource for women to not only build beauty through hair and makeup, but beauty on the inside through character, spirituality, health, fitness, and loving others. So today I'll be talking to you guys about leadership in your life. We're going to be talking a lot about discipline and commitment. So that is definitely a foundation for leadership. I'm excited to talk with you guys, and thank you, Sam, for inviting me.
Excellent. All right. Thank you to all of our trainers that are here. And we are excited to hear what you have to talk about. Ladies, all of you on the call today, we encourage you to think about what it is you want to learn. So as we're going along, please type in, and you can begin doing that now. Type in the chat the 3 challenges that you face online. What are the 3 challenges that you feel like you face when you're online? And that could be on the internet, on social media. What are some of those challenges that you're facing? Is it the posting, trying to understand what pictures to post, the right photo to post? Is it conversations in the group chats, how to talk back in the group chats? Is it the videos that you're seeing? What is it out there that is challenging to you? So take this moment to type in your challenges, and we're going to look at those throughout the webinar and announce them as well, especially as we get past the first segment. And with that, we're going to welcome Miss Sabrina Samuels to begin our email, text, and online etiquette. Before we do, I see that some of you are putting in the chat, communicating with other people. That's one of the challenges, and staying in touch. Thank you, Sanai. That's really good. Finding the right caption, posting the right photos, Taylor said. So those are things that you all are having challenges with. Thank you, ladies. And there are more coming. All right. So we will welcome Miss Sabrina. Miss Sabrina, are you ready?
I'm ready, Miss Samantha. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Great. Thank
Welcome,
you.
ladies. I can't see all of you, but welcome, welcome. I'm honored to be here to share a few tips in terms of texting etiquette as well as email etiquette. Because it's a modern and everyday thing, we think that we can just do anything when it comes to texting and email. But I want you to know that whatever you put out there will follow you. So I want you to be very careful, ladies, when you're texting. I'm going to read a few things off and I'll explain to you what I mean. And also you can write your caption in terms of if you need to have more information, and Miss Samantha will let me know. First of all, know your audience when you're texting. Never text someone and you don't know who they are and you put personal information out there. The worst thing you can do is text someone information and you don't know who they are and you put personal information out there and it comes back to haunt you. If you're texting an adult, ladies and gentlemen, oh, there are no gentlemen here, right? They're only ladies. That's correct. Okay. If you're texting, ladies, make sure that you understand to use proper protocol. If you're texting an adult, use Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Smith, or Miss Smith, or Mrs. Smith, or Mr. Smith, professor or doctor. Make sure you give that proper protocol. They will know that you're professional and you are respectful. So important. Be careful not to solicit photos. Someone just sent a message to Miss Samantha about sending photos. You don't want to send a picture of your body, ladies, out there. I was looking at Greenleaf the other day, and one of the characters, the teenage girls, she sent her boyfriend a picture of one of her private parts. Oh, excuse me. And the worst thing in the world that happened was the person showed it to everyone, and she was very embarrassed. Well, that happens in real life. Young ladies, be very careful. I have looked on videos, etc., and I see young ladies putting too much out there. Be very private with your body. You're beautiful, you're young, you're developing. Don't put the wrong information out there. Be careful with being angry in a text message. You don't want to be angry in a text message. So many adults, professionals, have ruined their careers by putting the wrong information out there, by tweeting or texting the wrong information. Sometimes, ladies, people will get that information, they'll hold the finger down, copy it, and send it to someone else, and the next thing you know, you're in trouble. So be very wise when you are texting anyone. When you're going to be late for an engagement, don't sit there and text someone saying, I'm going to be late. The worst thing in the world for me is if I'm expecting a client or I'm expecting a package and someone texts me, I don't have my cell phone, my smartphone in my hand 24/7, so I don't know if it's going to be late or not. If you're able to successfully pick up the phone or your smartphone and call that person up and say, I'm running late, please forgive me, I'll be there in 15 minutes, that's a better deal. You can also text if you don't reach them, if you phone and they don't answer you. So be very mindful of that when you are texting. Are there any questions about text messaging? Samantha, do you have any questions from any of the ladies? No questions. Okay. Can you all hear me? Just raise your hand if you can hear me, please. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. I
Okay,
don't
actually, Corellis will begin to read off the questions, and we did have one that just came in.
Okay, go ahead, please. I can't hear you, Corelli.
Sorry, my bad. So the question was, is it okay to use caps? So cap locks, yeah.
Capital letters?
Mm-hmm.
You can in a text message, but it depends on what you're sending. If you're sending all caps, to me, that sends an urgent word or urgent message. You can use caps, but it's better to just, well, I shouldn't say it's better to be grammatically correct, because a lot of people cut off their text messages. They use thank you, be good, and then use the first and last word. And I don't like doing that because I don't understand what all that means. But you can use capital letters when texting. It is accepted. Any more questions? Okay, text messaging is very, yes, ma'am. Turn your mic on.
Can you use abbreviations when you text? Like when you're typing about a day, instead of saying the full day, when you say like Wednesday or Thursday, can you just say WED or like Tues or something like that instead of?
It is acceptable when you are cutting off words in text messaging because people do it all the time. But when we talk about emailing, I would never do that. But text messaging, you can get away with that. I think someone wrote me the other day and they said GM. And I assumed that meant good morning because it was the first thing that they said. Now, I normally would just type out good morning, and I dictate my text messages because I have long fingernails, so I can't really text like I want to. But yes, you can. Any more questions? Let's go on to emails. How many of you like to email? Okay. When you email, do you put the subject in the caption box? Do you put the subject matter there? Ladies, it's so important. Are you going to say something down there, Camille? Okay. It's so important that when you email, you make sure you give a greeting. Put information in the subject box. I'm emailing you because of my history class. I'm emailing about my test next week. I'm emailing about this or that. If it's something very urgent, please, attention here. I need information. Don't send an email with just hello, because you never know who it is. Most of the time when people send emails and they just put hello or nothing, they want to bug you. So make sure that you are very, very professional and leave that information in the subject box. Always greet the person in the email by Mr. or Mrs., Professor or Doctor. Now, most of you are in high school or junior high school, so you're going to have instructors that you address. I don't like young ladies to address me by my first name, Sabrina. I know that it's popular and this is the end day, you know, and everything is different from back in the olden day, but proper etiquette is very important. And when you talk to an adult, it's important that you respect them. Now, in private quarters, if you have a good rapport with an adult, you can go ahead and address them by their first name, but make sure you use proper protocol when you're out there and you are emailing an adult. Make sure that when you send someone an email, you are grammatically correct. Check your email. Don't send text logo and lingo and abbreviations in an email. Type the word out totally. When you're sending an email, ladies, don't put embarrassing information in that email. When you put embarrassing information in an email, you never know who's going to see that, who's going to share it. And don't say negative information. Don't give negative words or bad words or put personal gossip out there in an email. That is so inappropriate. And when you do, it will get you in trouble because you might be mad at a person and say something that you might regret. And the next thing you know, they're sending it to someone else is sending it to someone, and now you've got a big problem on your hands. So when you are texting or emailing, make sure you think clearly in your mind. And if you're angry with someone, Don't send a text message, don't send an email until you calm down. If you happen to have someone send you an email and they did something good for you, or you're sending them an email, make sure you thank them in the email. Greet them and thank them so much for helping you or whatever they did for you. It's so good to thank people. Some of us forget the word please and thank you. It's used very rarely today. Even adults forget to say please and thank you so much. It goes a long way. So make sure you include that in a text message as well as an email. If you are having to correct someone in an email, make sure you say, unfortunately, I have a problem here, and explain it. But start the email out very comfortable, very genteel. Don't start in on you made a mistake, you made an error, you did this, you did that, because it puts a bad taste in a person's mouth. Make sure that you are very, very careful when you use your words in an email. Make sure that you don't put information in there that's very personal. You might want to call a person up. If you have personal information you want to discuss, do not put it in an email. Something really personal that you've done, or something that you regret that you've done, and you tell someone and you put it in an email. Then all of a sudden it's out there and you don't know how it got there. Ladies, be very careful when you're communicating not only in the email or text, but social media in general. Are there any questions? Any questions?
So we had a couple girls say yes, and I think that was to having questions.
Okay.
Camille, do you have a question?
Camille?
Camille Usher. And we also had Dominique.
Okay.
Okay, so Naya has a question. If you want, you can just unmute yourself and ask. Or if you want to type it, you can type it and I can ask.
Why do people feel the need to share personal information around the internet for like everybody else to see?
Okay, repeat what she said, please. I didn't hear her clearly.
Well, her question was, why is it that people feel the need to share personal information on their social media?
You know, I don't know. I really don't understand it myself. People feel the need to express themselves. And unfortunately, ladies, there's so much bad media out there. People are cussing each other out. They're showing too much body. They're bad girls, mean girls. They're doing all that and they get publicity and they get paid for it a lot of times to do that and to exemplify negative behavior. And so young girls who see that on television, they feel that it's the normal thing to do. So they do it, and it's not. It is not the way you want to go. You want to be very careful in putting out your personal information. Someone might have said something to you, your parent might have had an argument with you, and you go and put that out there on your email, and now you can't live it down. So just be really careful when you're dealing with emails. Look at the media today. People and professionals are getting in trouble by too much information. Be very careful. I am very serious with that. If I'm angry, if I see something, I won't just tweet something bizarre or something negative or email someone and just get them straight. I have to think twice. I say, Jesus, take the wheel here, because I want to express myself, but I'm not going to be negative. Call that person up, because you can resolve a problem very easy by talking to someone as opposed to personally putting your information out there. Why people do it, I have no clue, other than it is actually dictated by the media as being acceptable, and it is not.
So earlier, we had Amaya send in a challenge, and one of them was knowing when to say something and when not to say anything at all. And I think what you just said did a really good job of covering that.
Right, right. Yes, you have to be really careful. Many people have actually lost their jobs, ladies. You will be going into the job market in just a very few years. You don't want to have your business out there and following you negatively. People don't realize that nowadays you are checked on. If you're going to join an organization, or as you get older, get a job, people actually go to your Facebook page. They do research on you, about you. So you have to be very careful, because that stuff comes back to haunt you. Back in my day, we didn't have all of this technology. So we can get away with a little, or we did get away with a little more. But let me tell you, nowadays you can't get away with anything. So you have to be very careful. Calm your nerves down, calm your spirit down, think twice and say to yourself, how can this affect me negatively in the future if I put this out there? Don't be angry and mean and just go for it. And then the next thing you know, you're the one in trouble. Don't do it. I'll finish up now by talking about emails. When you're emailing a group of people, you want to be very careful not to show everyone's email. I did that once, and Miss Samantha corrected me. I don't know if you remember that, Miss Samantha. You corrected me. You said, oh, Sabrina, you said, make sure you take my name off of that group of email. And I said, oh my God, I meant to BCC that. Sometimes I'm moving fast and I don't push the right button. I don't push the BCC. No one wants their email address out there for others to get involved and to see it and to start sending them ads and sending them information. Be sure you protect your email buddies with that. Now, if it's a group and everybody's on the same project and you hit send all, then that's a different story. Everybody's already understanding and knowing what they're doing. Okay, because of time, I'm going to finish up here. Emails are very good, but if it's something important, make sure you pick up the phone and call that person up. More important than an email. In closing, I'd like to say, you all are beautiful young ladies. You're starting out in life. Life is ahead of you. And it's a good life, despite some of the challenges we're having today with COVID and so many things that are challenging. But if you keep a positive attitude and reflect that in your text messages and your emails, you will go a long way. And I guarantee you, when a young person emails or texts an adult and they use the right protocols, that adult or whoever that person is going to remember you positively. Thank you.
So it looks like there is a comment here from Zoe. Corellis, would you read that for us, please?
So Zoe said, that happened to me once. I had a party and so did another girl, and her mom copied the email list and sent her invitation to my private friends.
I know. Isn't that a turnoff? It's a turnoff, and it is not good when you piggyback off of someone, and especially if you have a really nice social calendar and a social list. People want to abuse that. So yeah, that'll happen. So you have to be very careful. That BCC is an important button to use. Any more questions?
Okay, Corellis.
So, okay, so time for our first cash prize announcement.
All right. Let's hear a few more of the challenges before we go into the prize.
Okay.
What are some of the challenges that you've noted that are out there, Corellis?
So one of them that really stood out to me was trying to understand people's tone. So that one's important.
That is really good. Miss Sabrina, when you're texting with someone, text has no tone, right? So how can you understand where the person's coming from if I text wow? Could that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing? How do you determine where a person is coming from if text has no tone?
Well, text really does have tone, and it depends on how you use that wow. You can use wow, that's fabulous, I think that's wonderful, or wow, that is a mess. Look how crazy that person looks. you will know exactly what that wow means by the content of that text message. Or if you send a picture out and someone sees that, they can use wow either way. But text messaging and emails, they have a personality. I was doing a big show in California, and the SOAR, I guess, is that the Delta, what do you call it?
They call each other Sora. Uh-huh.
Yes, okay. She sent me an email and she said something to me and I was offended by it. She said, and I can't remember verbatim, but she was saying to me, make sure you check your models because I don't want to have any problems. And I took offense to that. And I immediately called her up and I wanted to say, what the heck are you talking about? Check my models. And but what I did is I used wisdom because that was negative in my mind. And I called her up and I said, so and so, yes, I got your email and you're asking me to check my models. Is there anything I need to? She said, oh no, because I just want the Hilton Hotel to treat them right, and we're excited about them, and just check them and let them know to do this. And so I said, oh, thank God I didn't send her a negative email back saying, what are you talking about? My models are already professional. You see how that could have gone both ways? So you have to really use wisdom when you're communicating with someone. I'm so thankful I called that lady up because in my mind, I thought she was negative. And that's how I read that via the text, the email. And it was very positive on her end. She was thinking one thing, I was thinking another. Does that make sense? Oh yeah.
Looks like Taylor has a question. You can speak
Okay.
it, Taylor. I think you may have answered her question. Okay, Corelli's back to
Okay.
you.
Okay, so time for our cash prize.
Okay. Thank you all so much. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.
Great. Are there any last and final questions for Miss Sabrina before we close out with her? All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you, Miss Sabrina. Wonderful training on email, online, and text etiquette. That's something that we all, I think, are growing in and can learn to do better with over time, especially as things continue to change.
Absolutely.
So thank you. And Amaya is giving you is giving you the claps there, saying thank you. Amaya is one of the girls in our program, and so is Dominique, giving you claps, and a lot of the girls are saying thank you. So
Okay,
thank you.
thank all of you all very much.
Wonderful job. Okay, Corelli's time for cash prize. Please give us our first two winners.
Okay, so our first two winners are Taylor and the Lyle family.
The Lyle family and Taylor. All right, congratulations. Congratulations.
If you guys can, please message me privately and with your Cash App or Venmo name, and then we'll get the cash prize to you.
And if you do not have a Cash App or Venmo, we will mail a check to you. Great. So once again, thank you to Miss Sabrina. Excellent job. I feel like I'm more prepared to text better and email professionally. So thank you for that. All right. Now, as we go into the next area, ladies, I want you to send us any info that you think will be knowledgeable for us in regarding being a leader in life and social media posting. As Dr. Gabrielle gives you this training, it'll be helpful for us to know what you're thinking and some of the challenges that you're facing with online posting and being social media savvy. I'm sure most of you are very savvy on social media, but if there's anything that you feel like you're just kind of missing the mark with or you're curious about, now's the time to type that in. So without further ado, Dr. Gabrielle Gabrielli will speak on that.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me all right? I'm assuming that's a yes. So I actually changed the title a little bit. I'm going to start with the don'ts before the do's, because I'm all about ending on a positive note. So social media is something that I've been involved with for a really long time. I own my own business now, but I have worked for other people. I started my first business as a teenager, and it was a video production company, and it evolved into web design and development, social media, and the like before I earned my doctoral degree, and then it kind of shifted into what it is now, which is leadership, really leadership. So memes are really big on social media, right? Memes are so popular. So here's the language of a teenage girl. Fine, I'm gonna say ticked off completely. 5 minutes means half an hour. Nothing is something. I'm just tired. I'm upset, hug me. Go ahead, don't even think about it. Thanks. This is a legit apology. Thanks a lot. This is not a legit apology. It's completely sarcastic. Nice is not nice. So can you relate to any memes? I wanted to share the power of social media these days. And you may have seen it, and this is not about politics, this is about the power of teenagers on social media. And you might have heard the headlines last month when Donald Trump had a campaign rally in Oklahoma, and all the tickets were sold out, and he was talking about how huge of a crowd it was going to be. And as it turns out, it was a bunch of TikTok teens and K-pop fans who bought up all the tickets and made it without any intention of going, and made everyone think that it was going to be full, and it actually was not. So that was pretty powerful for teenagers to be able to do something like that and basically pump a US president. So I did want to share with you, because this was already brought up, how important is social media to finding a job? It's absolutely huge. 92% of recruiters search social media before making offers. Now, before you think maybe I shouldn't be on social media, if you're not on social media, you are going to get a ding for that. They really want to see your presence, and they want to see some things about you, such as your positive attitude, your creativity, and your professionalism. Those were the top reasons for hiring. 70% of recruiters decided to hire or reject people based on the impressions they got from people's social media. Top reasons for rejecting people: lying, inappropriate comments or photos. That was touched on already. It could be maybe too revealing photos. It could be derogatory comments. It could be political comments, negative or discriminatory comments, and then even poor communication skills. And if you're thinking, well, what does this mean? Earlier, you talked about having abbreviations and that kind of thing. If you get too carried away in social media with slang or jargon or abbreviations or anything like that, it's not going to look like you know how to communicate well. Now, we spend a lot of time, this is people age 16 to 64. On average, worldwide, 6 hours and 43 minutes per day are spent on the internet. And I guarantee that was in January of 2020. That number since COVID has greatly increased. The Pew is a research center that does research every several years. The last research they did said that 95% of teens aged 13 to 17 have access to a smartphone. 45% they say that they go online almost all the time. And then in terms of impressions they get from what is social media, is it positive, is it negative? 31% say it's mainly positive. 24% say it's mainly negative, and then 45% say, it's either way. Now, here's some facts about social media that are interesting and a little troubling at the same time. Girls use social media to appear cooler, especially to other girls. And girls think they appear cooler when they downplay their personality traits like intelligence, kindness, and being a good person. And let me tell you, back to the recruiters and the jobs and that kind of thing, you do want to show your intelligence, your kindness, and being a positive influence. Later, we're going to talk about leadership. My definition of leadership is anyone who positively influences other people. So with social media, you have a huge opportunity to be a positive influencer. The Girl Scouts did a study and it found that 74% of girls use social media to be cool by appearing dumb and mean. That is not what you want to do. For any reason, don't try to be cool or act mean.
Right.
85% of young girls say parents have talked with them about social networking safety, but only 50% say they're as careful as they should be. And then your use of social media is not down, but people tend to comment and like less these days. Girls tend to post more about themselves instead of connecting with friends as much. Sadly, when it comes to cyberbullying, 95% of teens say they witness bullying on social media. 55% say they've actually seen it a lot. 90% say they've seen it and chose to ignore it. 84% say they've seen people defend the person being harassed and tell them to stop bullying. And to me, that's a hero when somebody steps up, knowing that it's probably gonna, get them in their own trouble in terms of people maybe being mean to them. They stand up for other people. I've always felt that standing up for injustice is really important, and I feel the same way on social media. Sadly, 21% of teens say they've joined in the bullying. Here's my personal definition of a bully. It's someone who preys on the strong and enlists the weak. Bullies are insecure and they target the most competent, confident people because they're threatened by them. They enlist people who are afraid or easily influenced to help reinforce bullying behaviors and affirm that a target deserves the treatment. So what happens is you have a bully and they think you're a threat. They think you're a threat because you have a lot of friends, because you're nice, because you're smart, whatever. They are threatened by you. And so you need to think of them as a scared little boy or girl. And honestly, most girls tend to bully other girls. So think of them that way and don't let yourself fall victim to this. I hate to say it, but it happens into adulthood. Bullying is a real thing and cyberbullying is ugly. Only 7% of parents say they're worried about cyberbullying, but 33% of teenagers have been victims of it. So probably several of you on this Zoom right now have experienced it, sadly. More girls are cyberbullies than boys. 59% are girls, 41% are boys. Now, let's go to the social media don'ts. These are first off, don't take part in bullying. Don't share too much personal information. Don't put your home address, don't put your date of birth, don't put any identifying factors. And even if you have to put your date of birth to register your account, set that to private. People can steal your identity with that information. And with your home address, even worse things can happen. Never say on social media when you're home alone or when you're away from home. This includes going on vacation. When I get a chance to go away, I tend to wait until the end of the trip to post all the pictures. Speaking of which, if it's not vacation and it's just going somewhere, if you ever do virtual check-ins, don't check in until you're leaving. Checking in is something that really benefits businesses, but don't do it until you are on the way out. That way, if there's somebody who's been following you on social media and they may be a threat, they're not going to know where you are. Don't complain about other people. Don't vent about them. Let's say you get your first job and it's something that you hate. Don't complain. Whatever you do, don't complain, because those future employers and those jobs you actually really want are going to see that, and they're going to think you're going to come into their organization and you are going to do the very same thing and vent about them and complain about them. So don't do that at all. Don't get involved with drama or bullying. Drama in real life is just as bad as it online. Don't let that happen. Please don't let yourself be involved in that kind of behavior. Just like in person, don't hang out with the wrong crowd online. And then never let your guard down. Be careful. Never agree to meet anyone you don't know personally or to meet alone with someone you met through social media. Please be very careful. The next slide is something that may disturb some people, but it's reality. There are people out there who are using social media to target especially young girls. And so Craigslist, TikTok, MySpace, they are known for predators. And they're known for people, often older men, pretending to be your age and befriending you. So if you are someone who feels like you're an insecure person, they're gonna prey on you. So be very careful. Here is a graphic that I just saw last night. And it's saying, wake up call, predators make a game out of breaking boundaries. This is and then an 8-year-old girl was involved with TikTok with an older man who basically started preying on her. So please, you know, if you have younger siblings even, watch them. Make sure that if they have access to a phone or laptop or whatever, iPad, that they're not online communicating with people who they shouldn't be communicating with. Earlier in the chat box, somebody said something about, I always compare myself, or there was some comment about comparing. And Theodore Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. So anytime you compare yourself to other people, whether it's online or in person, one of two things happens. One, you're gonna feel inferior. You're gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel like they have it all, that everything's good with them and it's not with you. Well, let me just tell you right now, a lot of people only put really seemingly great things out there. They pick the best pictures, the best angles. They talk about how great everything is, but in reality, they're hurting inside. Don't let the facade they're putting out there fool you. So you're gonna feel inferior, but you wanna know what's worse? When you compare yourself to other people and you feel superior. So don't do it. Don't ever compare yourself to other people. Now let's talk about the do's. Do be your authentic self. Be who you are. Don't pretend to be dumb. Don't pretend to be cool. Just be who you are. I can already tell from the things you've been posting that you are awesome, ladies. You are just awesome. Continue to be who you are, even if you're different than other people, even if you have different interests, even if you think that nobody's gonna like the kinds of things that you have to share, you'd be surprised. You might actually really inspire people. Now, if you're gonna post pictures that involve other people, make sure to ask permission of them, and this includes video as well. So if you're taking video or pics somewhere, ask permission before posting. Protect your privacy, including turning location services off of photos. So the default setting on most phones and iPads is location services on. For photos, you want to go into settings and you want to change that to location services off. And then maybe when you're going somewhere on vacation and you're taking pictures, turn it on so that it'll actually pin the place where you are, so you'll know exactly where you were later when you're looking at those photos. But make sure, especially when you're taking pictures at home, that you don't include the location. So for example, I love animals and I foster a lot of animals. I have 2 little kittens left right now from the batch that I'm fostering. I foster puppies. I love animals. And I take a lot of pictures of them, but whenever I post, I make sure that I turn the location off of those photos. Next, remember that all postings on the internet are permanent. Even if you post something you thought you shouldn't have posted and you delete it, it is still there. There's still a footprint of it. It can still be found. So think about, anytime before you post, I want you to think about, will this hurt somebody? Will it hurt me? Will this make me look bad? Will this make other people look bad? What impression will people get from this posting? And if you answer all that and it's all positive, go ahead and post. But if not, don't do it. Be careful. Do be careful. If in doubt, talk to a trusted adult. If there is something you're concerned about, like maybe somebody you thought was your age is communicating with you, and your gut is telling you something might not be right here, talk to somebody. So like any tool, you can use social media for bad or you can use it for good. Choose to be the kind of person who uses it for good. So my sister Samantha, who's hosting this entire thing, the head of Ladies Learning to Lead, she is all about posting good things. And that's what you want to do. Build your brand from a young age. What is your brand? Your brand is who you are, what you represent, and what people think about you. So what's an adjective right now that somebody may use to describe who you are? What are they going to say about you? Are they going to say she's a nice person? Are they going to say she's really cool? That's the kind of thing you want to think about. So
we have a couple girls that have
bold, dedicated, funny. I love those. Those are awesome. Smart. I'm pretty. Okay, those are good. Kind. Personally, I like the less superficial ones. Caring, there you go, Dominique. Motivated, Amaya, beautiful. You know what, beautiful to me, really importantly, on the inside, if maybe you are beautiful on the outside, I'm sure you are, but if you show that you have a beautiful heart, that even helps a lot more. Confident, Sydney, I love it. Inspiring, that's awesome. Leaders are inspirational. Leaders are inspiring other people constantly. And it doesn't matter your age or what you do or what grade you're in or how many friends you have. You can inspire people. And when you do with social media, it's pretty awesome. So make sure that you think about the fact that social media has really changed the way we communicate. And I don't know about you, but during lockdown, during quarantine, during COVID-19, I am using social media a lot more than I did previously. It connects people no matter where they're located. So for example, I have family in England. And my mother is originally from Scotland, and her sister found me on social media, and believe it or not, I was using a fake name, but somehow she found me and she's like, hey, it's your Auntie Janice. And it really was her. I knew from the first few sentences it was her. And then I got my mother on Facebook and I connected them, and we ended up going over to England, and it was just awesome. And so you really can connect with people in different ways. And more adjectives are rolling in. Compassionate, Naya, I love it. Zoe, influential, that's beautiful, really good. So finding a job is easier today thanks to social media. A lot of times I have friends who are hiring people and they post on social media, does anyone know someone who's willing to? And they post a job out there and I start sharing. So you can find a lot of job opportunities. And here's something really interesting. One of my clients is a teenager. It happens to be a teenage boy, but he is a TikTok content creator. And I've been advising him about how to create content that will generate interest and to the point where he can make money on TikTok. You actually can make money by creating great content on social media. But one thing you need to remember is that whole brand thing, it has to come all the way from the start. So if you start posting negative stuff and then you kind of change your mindset and you start getting wiser with it, it's probably going to be too late. You've really got to think about what is your brand, who do you represent, all those great adjectives you put out there. Make sure that every posting you have speaks to that adjective that resonated with you. If it's inspirational, make your posts all inspirational. And listen, it doesn't need to be that you're positive all the time. You can even say, I was having a really difficult day, but then I looked outside and I saw the beauty of the sunset, and it just made me think that even on hard days, we can have gratitude for what's around us, and that just reinforces, okay, you're still being inspirational even on a bad day. And it's okay. It's okay to get down. Today, more than ever, people are struggling, and it is perfectly okay to not be up all the time or to not be happy all the time. But on social media, just be very, very careful about what you post. So any questions so far? Here's an example of some teenagers who made a lot of money on TikTok in the Sway House, by the way. And I have some video I'd like to share with you if you're interested about some of the most viral content on TikTok that also was on YouTube. So any questions?
I don't see any questions in the chat.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just hop on into the video then. All right. Let me know if you guys can see and hear it.
born on TikTok. Hey guys, it's Phoebe with Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 TikToks that went viral.
What the? This is crazy! If I jump, they jump.
For this list, we're looking at TikToks that got a lot of traction outside of the app. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, so I'm eating chocolate for the first time, so.
Number 10, Reese Hardy crying, also known as Obsessed Challenge. When @ReeseHardy_ uploaded a TikTok of herself dancing to Mariah Carey's 2009 song Obsessed, she depicted a mood that countless viewers could relate to. Her combination of absolute devastation and enthusiastic dancing can be applied to so many different contexts. The emotional range and the interpretations of this TikTok are massive, with commenters coming up with captions about finding out you're not allowed to have chicken nuggets, to discovering that a trip to McDonald's was actually a ruse and that you're being sent to an orphanage. It's no surprise that this one blew up, as we can all surely relate to the pressure of staying peppy in the face of adversity. Number 9, walk a mile in these Louboutins. Based on Iggy Azalea's 2013 work, this TikTok format caught fire and was replicated countless times, often to hazardous results. The basic format involves an individual strapping on some structurally unsound footwear, for example, a carrot taped to the heels, in order to replicate Iggy's iconic red-bottomed Louboutin high heels from the opening line of her song and accompanying video. This being the internet, things inevitably got out of hand as people began kicking holes into watermelons and taping cacti to their feet in their submissions to the genre. Number 8, bro, what is this new filter?
Bro, what is this new filter?
Usually when you use a filter on an app like Snapchat or TikTok, you can count on it making you look really hot or really stupid. In this TikTok, @Isaiah'sBacon got neither of those, and the result is priceless.
The power within. The power within.
The particular filter repeats the user's actions on a 1-second delay, and @Isaiah'sBacon's movements and reaction create the impression of him being absolutely surprised and terrified by his countless body doubles chasing him. Once comfortable with the format, he soon became an expert, declaring, "If I jump, they jump," and fought his replicas.
If I jump, they jump. What they gonna do? What they gonna do?
Number 7, Peppa, what are you doing on my chocolate? When TikTok user @BeesInTheTrap took a bite into some chocolate for the first time and found a Peppa Pig figurine inside, he inspired a movement in July 2019. The combination of @BeesInTheTrap's hilarious delivery and Peppa's cultural relevance due to the cartoon character's album release skyrocketed the TikTok into the spotlight.
Peppa, what are you doing inside my chocolate?
It received hundreds of thousands of likes and shares in a month and became an inspiration for countless parodies.
Peppa, what are you doing in my glasses case?
Suddenly, all across TikTok, users were finding Peppa in their car, glasses cases, and even their custom Minecraft world. Where will we find Peppa next?
Peppa, what are you doing in my Minecraft world?
Number 6, Visco Girl. We've all seen them, even if we don't know that we have. Girls who have edited themselves on the Visco app.
This is my new hot flask. Oh, you don't have one?
Visco girls have become so ubiquitous that TikTok and Instagram users began posting about their Visco-style sleepovers, which consist of sleepovers cute enough to post on social media.
Oh, these? These are just my scrunchies.
In this submission, TikTok user @KoobyDoobyDoobyDoo gives us a rundown on what we need to become a Visco girl. A hydro flask bottle, a scrunchie, perfume, and some lip gloss. She's also attained over 3.5 million likes in the process.
Okay, well, it was nice meeting you.
With these accessories and a slight vocal tick, you too can become a Visco girl. Number 5, the squirrel that lost control. Missy Elliott's Lose Control was an absolute banger, reaching number 3 on Billboard's Hot 100 in 2005 and doing very well internationally. The song was described by AllMusic as a, quote, nod to the type of old school party jam that Elliott does better than ever. None of the critical acclaim and commercial success could have anticipated TikTok's response over a decade later, however, with the squirrel seemingly going absolutely wild to the track. The rodent's moves are so frenetic and catchy that it's a shame it wasn't around when the video was first shot, as it certainly could have added a unique spin to things. Number 4, Cardi B's Jazzy Swisher Sweet Uggs. Cardi B is known for her extremely expressive and dynamic style of rap. True fans also know that on social media, Cardi B frequently posts equally expressive messages in the same style. User @TweetSongs decided to use a post where Cardi B shows off her new Swisher Sweet Uggs as the basis of his own video, in which he composes music that fits the tone and rhythm of a particular speech. What's poppin'? The result is gold, with Cardi's loud bragging taking us on a rare jazzy journey. The pianist behind the video, real name Charles Cornell, first uploaded it to Instagram, but it really picked up steam after it was posted to TikTok and was shared on Twitter thousands of times. Number 3, Mr. Sandman Cat. The most precious animals on the internet get the most love, and for good reason. This TikTok features the sweetest little cat being swung around through a 9-frame filter in time with the 1954 classic Mr. Sandman, written by Pat Ballard and performed by the Chordettes. The TikTok became extremely popular, partly due to the near-perfect timing of the cat's appearances with the notes of the song, and partly due to the fact that his fluffy little paws are the cutest thing we've ever seen. Try and watch this one only once. Number 2, Tesco Girl Video Rant. If you've ever had a bad day at work, this entry is for you. Here we have an exhausted Tesco employee giving a rant for the ages before she starts her next shift.
And I'm working till 10 tonight.
Apparently, this poor girl just cannot deal with another customer and made this desperate plea on TikTok for anyone who would listen that she not be asked any questions during her upcoming shift.
Hello, yes, I can show you where this is. Aisle 22.
WatchMojo advises you to heed her warnings because late in the video, she shows us her fisticuffs. She packs a mean right and her footwork seems pretty good too. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
I will stop it there. What do you guys think?
Kombucha for the first time, also known as
The number 1, by the way, was trying kombucha for the first time. So what do you think?
So we have some girls writing in that it was funny.
Good. Yeah, how many of you are on TikTok? A lot? I'm gonna take it. Good. A lot of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see their comments. Awesome. Perfect. Any final thoughts or questions you may have about posting on social media? Lacey says, I'm sad that Missy Elliott is now considered old school. And meanwhile, the teenagers are like, who? All right. Well, if there are no questions, what's the best tip you could give us before you're done? Ooh, what is the best tip? I think the best tip I can give you is just be kind. Be a good person. Online, in person, be a good person. And then the next question is, how do you know if a social media trend is good or bad? You kind of have to sit back and see, is it actually going to be a trend? Because often what happens is people think something's going to be trendy and it doesn't end up being one. Some are offensive, as Sydney said, some, so just kind of sit back and think, well, is it hurting somebody? Is this actually funny? Is this something that's positive? And really, to me, it's all about being positive. I help a lot of people hire good people. And when I have them look at social media, I do have them pay particular attention to people's attitudes. So having a positive attitude, being kind to other people, even standing up when others fail to stand up, to speak up about being kind, I think is really important. So thank you all so much. And it was really a pleasure getting to know you through your comments. And I wish you the very best in life. And you probably are gonna get our contact information. If so, feel free to message me and just let me know if I can help you in any way. Thank you.
A lot of the girls are saying thank you.
Thanks very much.
Taylor,
is this our only class, or do we have another one like tomorrow or something?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
This is the only one for now, but we may do another and we'll keep you posted. Any other questions for Miss Gabrielle?
Doctor. I earned that.
I know, right?
Right.
All right. Any others? Did I see it? Oh no, that's some claps. Okay. All right, Corelli's back to you. Dr. Gabrielle, thank you so much. That was wonderful. And ladies, like she said, if you have any questions for her outside of now, feel free to message her privately. She's got a wealth of information on a number of topics concerning leadership. So I would encourage you to please reach out to her and see what you can learn just in life with careers, with college, with leadership opportunities, all types of things. She's got it. She is a dynamic woman in the community, not only helping people here, but all across the world. Actually, I was going to say the nation, but she's international. So please do reach out to her. Use that resource. Take advantage of the wonderful women you have here to teach you from all over the place. So thank you once again. That was wonderful. And with that, I will hand it over to Corelli's, who will announce our second cash prize, or a third cash prize winners, third and fourth, but there's something special she's going to add to it. So please pay attention.
Okay, so for these next two winners, we will be picking the first two people to follow us on Instagram. If you already follow us, you can follow us and then, or unfollow us and then follow us again, so we can see if you were one of the first ones. So the first two people to follow us on Instagram will be the winners.
What's your name for Instagram?
It is
just
the
put
chat.
it in the comments, but we already have our first two people. So Mel.Queen is our first winner. And then the second one is Miss Amaya.J.
Okay, so for those two people, if you don't mind messaging me separately, and I will collect your information.
Great. And for those who don't have Instagram, whatever social media you do have, we are everywhere but on TikTok. Is that correct, Claire? Claire is our social media manager.
Yes, we are. I can send out all our social media handles to your emails too.
Okay, so she'll send that to all of you. Hi, Jeanette. And all of you who don't have Instagram, but you may have something else, email us and we will do a special cash prize out of you all who do not have Instagram, to keep that fair.
I'd like to say something, if that's okay.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. For starters, thank you so much, ladies, for doing this. This is so important, and I'm just so grateful for an organization like this to teach. I'm a mother of 3 daughters, and so to teach them young to be strong, independent women, this is wonderful. So I am having my oldest, Sophie, watch this because she doesn't have social media yet. And I basically just want her to grasp the importance of just having it, how to use it. And I'm a little bit out of breath because I was walking up, but I want her to, as we consider giving this to her, I want her to grasp the impact that having it and having it this young could affect her life and her friends' lives and the lives of so many that she reaches through it.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. I would like to ask Dr. Gabrielle if she wouldn't mind commenting, responding to that. What do you say to those parents who are thinking of allowing their girls to go on social media?
I think if they are cautious about it and have those difficult conversations, that it's okay. But trust your parents. Your parents know. I've shared with you a couple of slides that show you what can happen. It's really awful, some of the things that can happen. And so if your parents are not allowing you to, there's a good reason. They just want to protect you, you know? And so it's a tough thing, really. Ultimately, you will get on it someday. You maybe depending on your age, maybe in a couple of years. Personally, I love Instagram. I see a lot of you don't have Instagram. It's a really visual kind of happy place. And, you know, so I would just talk to them about what would be appropriate media. I think that Instagram tends to have less harm in terms of interaction with people you don't know than TikTok or some of the others that are really known for predators intentionally posing as people your age, and they're really not. You have to be careful. If your gut is telling you something's wrong, something's wrong. So just trust your parents, I think, more than anything, that they are just concerned about you for good reason. That there have been too many incidents of people breaching those barriers. And often it's somebody who's insecure that's preyed on. And so you don't never let that happen. And so if your parents are telling you, not right now, just understand that that's okay.
Great, thank you for that. And I would also like to ask Miss Sabrina, who is a parent from the old school when there was no social media, and then now a grandparent with social media. How do you deal with allowing your grandchild to be on social media? Is she on social media? And what would you say to the parents who are thinking about allowing them?
Well, you know what? Social media is good when you don't overdo it. We have almost a 16-year-old granddaughter. She lives on social media. She literally lives on it, but she talks 3 different languages as a result of getting these videos with different language. K-pop? I think it's called K-pop. There's a dance group or a singing group. And she does a lot of research, so she's not just filling her mind with garbage, she's really filling her mind with a lot of good stuff. But I think that it is unhealthy when they're on it 24/7. And because of this pandemic, we can't get her out to do anything. So this is the unfortunate thing, that she's right there on that social media, she's happy as a lark, and I'm pulling my hair out saying, come downstairs, let's talk. You can't do anything. So hopefully this pandemic will subside and we can get back to normal.
Great. You know, I would love to have an optometrist on this call to tell us what are the effects of our vision being on our phones and laptops all the time. Like, is there something happening? Is that why you're wearing glasses, Dr. Lacey?
Yes, I already wore contacts since I was about 15 and started driving. And then when I had to shift everything, my whole business, everything to online, I started having terrible eye strain because of the Zoom calls. And so these glasses aren't even prescription, but they're the blue blocker because I have my contacts in. And so it blocks all that computer, and because I felt it, I was like, oh, my eyes are starting to hurt. Let me throw these glasses on. And it started feeling better. So yeah, that's exactly right.
Wow. Yeah, there's something happening there, but we're not sure yet. I think we'll find out over time. All right, ladies, any more questions? Any more questions there, or parents? We might have some other parents on too. Any other questions before we move on to the next segment? Any other questions? Okay. All right, great. And just as we're going on to the next segment, those of you young ladies who do not have social media, will you type in the chat and let us know, like, hey, I don't have it. Hey, I want it, but I don't have it. Just so we can have an idea of how many of you are really on there and those who are not. Okay, so as we move along, I'm really excited. This is so great. And Dr. Gabrielle got us all pumped up with the videos and I love that, and seeing her screen and getting to see what all is out there, what's going on. I had no idea that all that was happening on TikTok. So this is really informative for me. I'm super excited. We're definitely gonna have to do this again. Okay, so our next trainer is Miss Audra. And for this next segment, ladies, we'll be talking about how to be a leader in life. So not just being a leader online, but being a leader in life, because we all know that if we're a leader behind closed doors, if we're a leader out in public, then when we get on social media, that's gonna bleed over. Who we are within will show on social media. So we gotta make sure that those two things match. And being a leader in life is really important. So this last segment, as we get ready to close out for the hour, we're gonna talk about being a leader in life. We're gonna do one more special cash prize. And first will be Miss Audra.
Hello, this is so much fun. You guys, I wish that this stuff was available when I was young. The information that you're getting from these wonderful leaders, Gabrielle and Miss Sabrina, it really just speaks into who we put ourselves out there to the public to be. Gabrielle touched on a couple of things that are really important and speak into being a leader, which is your brand. And that's what people think about you. Well, for businesses, your brand is what your customer thinks about you when you're not around, and what they tell other people, or give referrals or don't give referrals. But really, it's about what do people think of you? And so if you're using your brand, which you've decided is inspirational or kind or giving or loving or beautiful, if you're using that as a sounding board for everything that you do, every interaction that you have, whether that be on social media or whether that be in person, you're staying coherent to who you truly are in your heart. So when we do post things on social media or when we meet people in person, we want to act into our brand. So if you are an inspirational person, all the things and all the words should come from a place of your heart and your authenticness and being inspirational. So let's wrap that around. There's a concept called self-awareness, which I'm not sure if you guys have been interacted in, but this is us understanding what's going on in our environment. So what our behavior is, using our manners, and we say thank you and we say please, because that is pleasing and appreciative to another person, because we're telling somebody else that we appreciate them, and we're thanking them because from our heart we appreciate the action or whatever they did. So we do these social niceties, we call them social niceties, because we want other people to feel pleasant and happy in our environments. So as a leader, when we walk through our worlds, we want the interaction that we have with another human, friend, foe, adult, child, otherwise, to be happy in our environment. And as a leader, we have to be self-aware enough to understand how that interaction is impacting another person. Because if we want to lead them, we want to motivate them, if we want to inspire them to do something, then they need to trust that that's coming from a place of authentic honesty and kindness, but be happy in our environment. So self-awareness comes into account no matter who we're interacting with. It could be our siblings, it could be our parents, it could be our teachers, it could be our friends, it could be in person, and it can be virtually. So one of you had a question about don't hurt other people's feelings, or knowing how to say something. Well, how would you like that said to you? If we can think about it in an opposite way, whether that interaction, whether they be kind or not, how should that interaction feel? How would you like that interaction to feel? If somebody sees me on social media, what do I want them to feel or see? Because that's then going to tell them who I am. When it comes to comparison is really hard. And as a leader, we have to be able to learn to rise above comparison. Because there is nobody like me, there's nobody like you. And if you compare yourself to somebody's best day, this is a very good quote to live by. You can't compare your bad day to somebody's best day. Because if you think that you are better or worse than someone else, then that means that there's not enough for everyone. That the pie is small when the pie is not small. There is no comparison. Your day and your moment when you see that photo of somebody else with something extravagant only means that they happen to be around something extravagant, not that you can't be there eventually. There is no comparison. There is no one like you. There is no one like me. So instead of feeling sad or bad or like you're lacking, I want you to feel joy and push love. Because if that person is having an amazing day, then you want to be happy that they're having an amazing day, because then the world will reward you with amazing days. So comparison in leadership is not a thing. I think that what Samantha is doing and what Gabrielle is doing, I think that they are phenomenal women. And if I chose to think that I was in a lesser space because I'm not doing the thing that they're doing, then that would make me feel bad. And then that would make me want to not necessarily engage with them. But if I rejoice with them and I am proud of them and I shout them from the rooftops and I push positivity in their direction, then they are happy people, I am happy people, and we all are happy people together. And I know that this sounds like a pie in the sky, but it's not. It's how we have to live our lives. We have to be grateful and look to that sun shining outside, like Gabrielle was talking about, and know that our moment can change in an instant. And when we give love as a leader, if we give motivation, if we give vision, if we show people the way and be a phenomenal example, then they appreciate that and they want to be in our presence. And so I live my life like I want you to want to be in my presence, because I'm a happy, positive person and I will never put you down. That if I see you with a Mercedes, I'm going to say, go girl, go get it. Where'd you get it? I'd like to go buy one when I can sometime. But we all have to live in this space of lifting each other up, because leaders really, they are the people that inspire. They are the example that others want to live by. They are the person that provides the vision to guide people when they don't have it. As a leader in an organization, it is your job to understand your team, to understand what motivates them, and to hold the vision of where you want that company or that community or L3. Samantha holds the vision for where that's going to go, and you have to love and trust and believe in her for her to guide you. So if you want to guide your friends, if you want to guide your community, then you have to come from a space of positivity, abundance, example, knowing your brand, knowing yourself, and living authentically into that space. We can't get stuck in social media because it's not always real. But more than that, our engagement with our fellow people on social media doesn't replace the engagement that we have in front of each other, where we get an actual opportunity to sit down and learn about each other in a face-to-face way. So it's in both our best interest to live in both spaces, which is kind of weird for, I didn't grow up with social media. I've had to learn this as I go. It's been a challenge. So we're all learning and we're all evolving, but we need that touch point of authentic realness in an effort to make those true connections. So for those of you that aren't on social media yet, that's totally okay. Maintain and create those great connections in person so that you know who you are. You develop the leader in yourself so that when you're on social media, you can be that authentic, positive self, rejoicing in other people's positive things that are happening in their life. Leadership isn't easy because we often face the challenges first. We have to think of the self-awareness first. We have to think about how is our team or our people of influence or our community or our friends, how are they going to engage with my words, my emotions, my vision? And don't forget to listen, because the listening part is the feedback part. It's where we get to understand other people's opinions and what they're going through so that we can motivate them and share our vision with them in an effective way. Our decisions every day is what supports our brand. It's what supports our authenticity. It's what supports our vision. So make those decisions carefully. Be aware of your surroundings, both in social media and in person. Make safe decisions as far as your well-being. And think about what others are getting from your presence, whether that be on social media or whether that be in person. How's that person interacting with you? Listen to their words, watch their body language, and learn to understand them, because leaders learn from everybody around them and learn to know their self through those engagements. Did I take 10 minutes already? Just kind of go off. Just telling you, I'm really passionate about this. But just know who you are, and who you are is perfect and wonderful just the way that you are, and be okay with that. That's all my 10 minutes, and I could keep going for like 2 hours. So do you have any questions? I know that I just threw a whole bunch of content out there. Thumbs up.
So I'm not getting any questions from anyone on the chat.
I got all the notes.
Claps. Lots of claps there.
Amaya says, thank you, you touched everything.
Yeah, I'm happy to have any conversation with anybody if they ever need it. I'm very passionate about just being you, just love you, and put that out there. Laugh.
And ladies, I would encourage you during question time as we're in the home stretch here, feel free to unmute yourself and say thank you and speak your comments. We would love to hear your beautiful voices and hear from you. All right, great. Thank you, Miss Audra. That was wonderful. Good tips, and thank you for all the compliments you threw in about me. That's great, and I appreciate that. So next, you all are going to be really excited. And before we get into our next person, trainers, our trainers here, if you want the young ladies to follow you wherever you are on social media, or if you have, I know some of you have newsletters that you send out, like Dr. Lacey has something that comes out weekly with all different types of leadership information and podcasts, and Audra has a talk show, and Dr. Gabrielle has a million things that are amazing. And so if you would like to subscribe to whatever source that they have, trainers, please type that in for the young ladies to subscribe to you. Let us know how they can reach you. And I would say if you have something like a newsletter, then that's preferred for those young ladies who don't have social media, but include your social media and how they can get your emails.
So
Okay.
Ashlyn is asking if any of you guys have a YouTube channel.
I do. I have a really active YouTube channel. I was about to type it in, so.
Yes, if you can, please.
Will do.
And Miss Sabrina has a YouTube show, a show on YouTube, the Sabrina Samuel Show. Okay, I think we may have lost her though. So please type that in, trainers. And as we go along, ladies, take note of that and make sure you follow them. So we have 3 more speakers as we close out, and then after that, our last cash prize. So stay tuned, stay connected. And next, you're going to hear from Miss Christine on some really exciting things. I hope she talks about all that. She's just multifaceted, but she's got some beauty tips and some beauty things that she does, and I hope she shares that with you all today. So Miss Christine, you're up.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So I just want to take a second for everyone to kind of unfold themselves and stretch up, reach up, and kind of re-engage yourself. We've been sitting here for an hour and a half and getting some really great information. Yay, get really big. We're going to make big impact. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I am going to talk about Beauty Sam, but we're going to talk about beauty on the inside. If you want some beauty, hair, and makeup tips, I do have a website with a blog. My blog is Tally Beauty Girl, and I have hair and makeup tips. We can do a live makeup lesson one day. That could be really fun. But since my topic is leading in life, I wanted to talk a little bit about leadership. If you guys can tell me in the comments, what does being a leader mean to you? Where can we clean your house? What? What does being a leader mean to you? When I was younger, learning about leadership, I thought it meant I got to boss everybody around. What I've learned is that I'm very assertive. So to me, being a leader means that I'm going to direct someone towards their purpose and that I'm going to have their best interests at heart. What I wanted to talk a little bit about today is being a leader for yourself, because ultimately you cannot control whether or not someone's going to follow you along in your course. People will follow you along if the things that you're doing align with what they want, if it's inspiring. But really, at the end of the day, you have to make the choices that honor who you want to be when you grow up. So sometimes it means to be a leader that you're going to be alone. There's a lot of times throughout my life that I have been my only friend. I have had to go on journeys scared. I have had to do things when I'm tired at 5 a.m. when I go to the gym. So the first thing that you want to do as a leader is to define what do you want and what do you not want. So for me as a little girl growing up, a lot of times the people who were around me taught me what I did not want to be when I grew up. You know, I had parents who kind of fumbled their lives. My mom did the best she could. My father probably could have done better. And it just really taught me I want to be like this person. I don't want to be like this person. And that's okay. The next step in becoming a leader is kind of sitting down and thinking about what are you naturally inclined for? Like, what are you good at? So one of my best friends growing up, she had me sit down and make a list. And I'm going to challenge everybody on this call, whether you're a student or a teacher, to make a list of 50 things that you love about yourself. This isn't to breed conceit, but God gives us gifts that kind of tell us what we should be doing with our lives. So I want you to make a list of 50 things that you love about yourself. So I have my list here. Some of the things are, I love to love other people. I'm kind, I'm generous. I am a worthy opponent, which means I am allowed to stand up for the things that I believe in. I'm resilient. I am talented. So once you kind of figure out what you love about yourself, it allows you to figure out kind of what you should be doing. So because I love to love people, I wouldn't be good at sitting in a cubicle all day in front of a computer. I need to be out hugging strangers, hugging people I'm familiar with, providing them with a safe place to share their feelings. That's really important to me. So kind of figure out who you already are instead of looking and comparing, like some of the ladies said, to what other people do. We all compare ourselves. It's not necessarily great, but we all do it. So if you find that you're doing it, don't think, oh my gosh, I'm a terrible person. No one compares themselves. We all do it. The things that you need to remember is, I think that comparison needs to motivate you and encourage you and to inspire you rather than to make you feel inferior. So in becoming a leader, I have 4 promises that I want you to make to yourself. And this is going to help you become a more beautiful person, not just externally, Although if you take these promises and apply them to your eating habits, to your fitness habits, to your beauty regimen, this will all help you be more physically attractive, but really character is what makes someone more beautiful. So the first promise that you're going to make to yourself is, I promise to tell myself no. We live in a society where immediate gratification is always at our fingertips. We want to go shopping now. We want this now. We want to not study and go out with our friends now. But discipline is really one of the best character traits that you can develop, especially at a young age. So telling yourself, no, I'm not going to go to this party. I'm going to study so I do well on my test. When you do get a job, if you can start saving at a young age, you might be able to buy a house for cash. It's possible. You might be able to put yourself through college with cash. It's possible. If you can start at your age, I wish I knew this, to not get yourself into debt, you can travel whenever you want to travel if that's what you want to do with your life. So the first promise is to tell yourself no. When you want to sleep in, say no. Get up anyways. When you want to eat things that are not good for you, say no. I don't know about you, but whenever I eat a lot of sugar or junk food, instantly the next day, I am a grumpy person to be around. I don't have any energy. I'm not nice. I feel yucky. So when you want to buy something on social media because someone has a white off-the-shoulder ruffle top, they get me every time. I don't even wear them. But just tell yourself no. Sometimes saying no is hard, but it's loving. It's loving to tell yourself, I don't want this more today than what I want this other thing tomorrow. The second promise that you're going to make to yourself is, I promise myself that I'll do it, whatever it is. So last year, I competed in a fitness competition. I trained for 5 months. Every gram of food that I ate was weighed out. I drank a gallon of water a day. I trained 6 days a week for 3 hours at a time. I got up and I did it. I made that commitment to myself and I got it done. If you tell yourself, I want to graduate with straight A's, I want to be the valedictorian, I want to put myself through college with cash. Maybe I don't want to go to college. Maybe I want to travel. Start saving your money, travel. Whatever it is, promise yourself that you will do it and do whatever it takes to make it happen. The third promise that you're going to make for yourself is, I promise not to make it harder. So this requires a lot of intentionality. What does it mean, I promise not to make it harder? If I stay up all night watching Netflix, getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go do my workout the next day is going to be harder. If I want to pay cash for a house or for my next vacation, going to TJ Maxx and Target is going to make it harder. If I want to do really well on a test, then going to a party or, not paying attention when my teacher is teaching me, not taking notes, not highlighting in the book, all of those things are going to make it harder. The other things that make things harder is distracting yourself with things that aren't important. At your age, dating boys, who's saying what about me, that stuff is not important. If you stay focused on your intentions, then the things that really matter, getting your education, building financial habits, building discipline, taking care of your body, learning how to cook, all of these things are going to set yourself up for more success in the future. We've all seen the little thing that says, do something today that your future self will thank you for. What that is making your lunch tonight so that tomorrow it's already done. Setting your clothes out so that tomorrow it's already done. Folding the laundry for your mom so that tomorrow your clothes aren't wrinkly. It's all about intentionality. And the last promise that you're going to make is the most important. I promise to love myself. So like I said, sometimes throughout your course of life, especially if you're staying very focused, you might be your only friend. Sometimes you might make a really big mistake and something that you even know, I should not have done this, and then you did it anyway, and then you have to deal with it. Love yourself anyways. We all do that kind of thing. That's what forgiveness is about. That's what grace is for. But, you know, whatever goals that you want to do, if you love yourself along the way, whether or not you hit the goal, you already won. So when I competed for my fitness competition, whether or not I got a trophy on the stage didn't matter. What I already won was getting up every day and having discipline, changing my body composition, learning how to eat nutritionally, overcoming things that I never thought I would overcome. That's already winning, and that's already loving myself. Other ways that you can love yourself at your age, you know, you're going to be faced with temptations to do drugs or to drink or to go to parties. That's not loving yourself. It's a big waste of time. It's a waste of money. It can set you back years or decades in your life. You can be arrested. You can be surrounded by the wrong people. You could end up marrying the wrong person. It's just going to set you back. So making decisions that are loving towards yourself and being kind to yourself, telling yourself, I'm beautiful on the inside, I'm smart, okay, I got a B or a C on this test, but you know what? Math isn't my strength, I'm really good at reading, or whatever that looks like. Be kind to yourself, be loving to yourself, because when you are kind to yourself, you will be more inclined to be kind to other people. So I just want to end with a quick parody. So if I was holding a cup of coffee and somebody bumps into me and I spill coffee, why did this coffee spill? Type in your answers. Why did the coffee spill?
Okay, so while they're typing in that, I'm gonna read out some things that they've typed in as to what leader means to them. The first one was doing what's right when no one is watching.
Yes.
That's a good one. A leader means being a positive impact on anyone.
As well as yourself. Sometimes you have to just show up for yourself.
Camille wrote in that being a leader means having people look up to you. And a leader means motivating and inspiring people to reach their goals and helping them along the way. Sophie sent that one in.
These are amazing. I love it.
Great. As Christine closes out the answer to your question there, the answers are coming up. Do you need those?
Yeah, so some people said the coffee spilled because someone bumped into you. It was a force that bumped into me because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't have a lid. So these are great. The reason why the coffee spilled is because there was coffee in the cup. If there was water in the cup, water would spill. If there was tea in the cup, tea would spill. So the point is that whatever you're filled with is going to come out when you're agitated. So if you fill yourself with discipline, if you fill yourself with intentionality, with kindness to yourself, with lists of why you love yourself, when things like global pandemics hit, you will stay disciplined and it will not stress you out. If you stay disciplined with saving your money and they close your business for 6 weeks, you'll be like, you know what? I have savings for this reason. I'm okay. And you'll be nice to the people around you. You can use something like a stay-at-home order to just clean your house, color, go for walks with your dog. So being a leader means starting with yourself. That's the only way that you're going to inspire others. No one's going to want to follow you if you are not doing it correctly for yourself, regardless. Are there any other questions?
All right.
Did everybody write the 4 promises down? So I promise to tell myself no. I promise myself that I'll do it. I promise not to make it harder. And I promise to love myself. And
Great.
don't forget to work on your list of why you love yourself.
All right. And we see that some of you have written it down. Thank you so much, Miss Christine. Girls,
thank you.
Send over your claps and all of that. That was super amazing. Thank you. All right. We're going to push right on into the next one, next trainer, who is Dr. Lacey. And then we'll be closed out by the dynamic Miss Meredith.
All right, well, thank you so much again for this opportunity and invitation. Ladies, you have been phenomenal and your engagement has been amazing, and we're gonna push right through. Remember, we're talking about the 5 strategies to build yourself and others, but it always has to start within. And Miss Christine, she hit the nail on the head when we're talking about it starting within. So if you're ready, give me number 1 in the chat. Let me know that you're with me. We call this tracking, so that I know that you're up, you're ready to get this information, because I'm about to drop these gems and I know you want every single one of them. There they go. I see the ones going across. So number 1 is you have to communicate your beliefs. What are your non-negotiables? What are the things that you're like, I'm going to the mat for this. This is what's so important to me. This is the thing that at the end of the day, these are my standards. I like my standards and my heels high, right? So as ladies, we have both our standards and our heels high. And so if I know for myself, these are my expectations, this is how I get motivated. As soon as you have decided these are the non-negotiables, you have to be clear and explicit in sharing them with others. This is the first step in how you start to build yourself. Number 2, if you're ready for number 2, because I'm gonna keep it moving. I got 8 minutes, I gotta keep it moving. Give me a 2 in the chat if you're with me. Now, if you wear your heels and your standards high, there they go. There go the 2s. I love it. I love it. I love it. Number 2, because we got our heels high, we now have to walk the talk. Now, if you've heard that before, let me have a yes, yes in the chat. If you heard walk the talk, put a yes, yes in the chat for me. I see you. Anaya's put it in there. Zoe, let me know. Yes, yes. Akiva, Lyle. Okay, there you go, Lyle family. Dominique. See, here's the thing that happens, and this is where people get caught up. They say one thing, but then they do another. And when you say one thing and do another, Miss Sabrina, she already let us know that's not how we do it with proper etiquette, right? So if I say I'm going to be on time to some place, then I need to be on time there. If I say this is the expectation and I've set this goal for myself and my parents have placed this upon me, then that's what I need to do. It seems cliche when we hear people say you have to walk the talk, but that's what being a leader is. When you move into your places of position and power, ladies, understand this. If you say one thing and do another, that's going to be very difficult for people to want to follow you. I'm going to say it again. If you say one thing but do another, it makes it very difficult for people to follow you. We want to make this thing easy, and that's by making our actions to be consistent with our words. Plain and simple. Our actions are consistent with our words. So those first 2 things is how you start to build yourself. These next 2 is how you start to build others around you, because when the tide rolls in, all boats lift. Now, this is the thing that I think is so valuable and important, because a lot of times they'll want us to think that as women, we're supposed to pull each other down. But I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. And that's not how we get down. Miss Samantha has let us see that on today with these wonderful, amazing women that are on in this chat today. We have 30 women who are on right now letting us know that's not how we get down, okay? So number 3 is to listen carefully to others around you. This is how you start to build other people up. Now there's this man, his name is Stephen Covey, and if you click the link that I put down, I have the top 10 books for every leader needs to read. And one of the books that he wrote is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, I first read this book when I was in college, but you know what? I believe every woman that's on this line, y'all are ready for it now. You can pick it up at your library. You can download it from Amazon. You can get started on it tonight or maybe tomorrow because it's been a long day, okay? But one of the things that Dr. Covey talks about is seek first to understand, then be understood. What does that mean? It means to sit back and listen. Because when we take the time to listen, we have 2 ears, 1 mouth, which means we're supposed to listen twice as much as we talk. we start to build a relationship with those around us. And that's how we start to build other leaders around us, right? That's how we start to build others around us. We have to be careful because while, yes, there is a time for debate, and yes, we will not always walk hand in hand in agreement, we also have to realize that when you're messy, those well-intentions, people start to dismiss them because they're focused on the criticism. Keep in mind, there's a difference between a critique and criticism. Let me say it again. There's a difference between critique and criticism. A critique is when I give someone something that's going to make them better, that's going to encourage them, that's going to spur them on. Whereas a criticism is simply going to pull them down and not make them feel their fabulous self. We don't want to be critics in this space. We always want to offer a critique. Who's ready for number 4? I'm gonna keep it moving. Let me know in the chat if you're ready for number 4. Is this helping you? Let me see some thumbs up. Is this helping? Is this helping? Okay, those of you who have your camera on. All right, here we go. Number 4. Thank you, Sydney. All right, here we go. Number 4. Remember, this is building out. Community action is important for our success. Community action is important for our success. What do I mean about being community activated, community organized? Community action is important for your success. Now, all of you are pretty much probably too young to vote on this line right now, but you eventually will be able to vote, and your voice matters, ladies. Every single person on this line, when you become eligible to vote, you've got to go to the polls. There are women in the suffrage movement who fought for our right to be able to vote. Do you not know that in 1913, there were a group of women who were so committed that they said, we have got to get out here and march. And so because these women took the time to fight for us to be able to vote, I'm not even talking about people of color, I'm talking about women, right? It is so important for us to exercise our voice and do so. So since you're not necessarily able to vote as of yet, how can you still be community-minded and oriented? You can still write your congressman, you can still write your statesman, your mayor, your governor. You can even write 45 himself over on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and let him know what he is and is not doing right. Okay, here's number 5. If you're ready for number 5, let me know. Give me a yes, yes in the comments. If I'm going too fast, I know Miss Samantha is going to send the replay out and you can grab it then. So if you are with me, I see the yes, yeses coming in. I see the number 5s. Here we go. All right, ladies, number 5. And again, remember, whatever we put out must come back in. So it's a full cycle. So number 5 is for you. And that is to implement your goal-oriented affirmations. There's a difference between an affirmation and a mantra. There's a difference between an affirmation and a mantra. I personally aspire to an affirmation. Why? Because affirmations line up with who God says that I am, not necessarily who others around me say that I am, right? So I'm going to pick my goal-oriented affirmations, such as, I can do it. There is nothing that is too difficult for me. I am fabulous. And I'm going to continue to remind myself that every single day. Now, keep in mind, there's a difference between being conceited and being confident. And I believe Miss Sabrina would not want any of us to be conceited, but she would definitely want us to be confident in how we carry ourselves. So here's how the confidence starts to begin, and I'm going to end it here. Every single day, you can change your mind in 15 seconds a day. You can change your mind in 15 seconds a day. My doctoral research is in neuroscience, which is the study of the brain, specifically metacognitive theory, which is how we think and process. So in 15 seconds a day, if I tell myself I am successful, I can overcome anything that put before me, I can overcome, I can accomplish, I can set my goals, I can do it, I am successful. If I repeat these sort of affirmations daily, there is nothing that has been set before me that I cannot accomplish. Ways are made open for me daily. People go out of their way. I am a money mogul magnet, right? People go out of their way to support me. If I put these things out into the atmosphere and I repeat them daily, my brain is going to start to look for them to manifest and be within my circle in space. And I will start to see it. Why? Because I first believed it here and here. And so it can't help but show up here. So here are the 5 strategies one more time to build yourself while building others. Because remember, when the tide rolls in, all boats lift. Number 1, communicate your beliefs, values, and your non-negotiables. If the people around you don't know that it's a non-negotiable, then that means you haven't let them know that it's a non-negotiable. Number 2, walk the talk, because both your heels and your standards are high. Number 3, listen carefully to the points and views of others. Remember what Covey said, seek first to understand, then be understood. Number 4, community action is important to success. You have to rock the vote in advance, and it all starts with the power of the pen. Pick up that pen and reach out to your congressman, reach out to your statesman, reach out to your mayor, all of your elected officials, and let them know, let your voice be heard. And number 5, implement goal-oriented affirmations. Your future or your funeral is proceeding out of your mouth daily, ladies, and I believe your future is very bright. Thank you again for allowing me to be here on today.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lacey. That was amazing.
My pleasure. If you have any questions, ladies, please put them in the chat. You can also follow me on IG at Dr. Lacey C. Robbins, and that's Lacey with an I, as I love to stay connected with you.
All right, wonderful. So thank you again for that. And I typed in those 5 things. Excuse if I had a couple of misspelled. And as we go over our time a little bit here, we're going to close out with Miss Meredith, do our final prize, and then we are done. Miss Meredith, come on in.
Hello, ladies. Hello. I would love to see all of your beautiful faces. For those of you who are not currently showing your video, I just want to interact and engage with you all. Hey, Zion. Hello. So my name is Miss Meredith Ward, and again, I am the founder and CEO of In Charge Career Consulting, where I work with lots and lots of women to help them to become influential leaders in their career and also to become full-time and profitable business owners. I also own a staffing agency here based out of Dallas, Texas, so hopefully I'll be able to hire a lot of you future leaders coming up. So today I want to speak with you all about what it means to evolve on purpose, because the best women that I know in leadership are those who embrace change. So to become good and effective leaders, you must focus on the process of evolution, not just what it means to evolve from being a girl into womanhood, although that's important, but that's going to happen anyway, right? But what I want you guys to focus on instead is to turn your attention to consistently becoming a better version of who you are today and who you were yesterday and the month before and even the year before. See, when you master the art of evolving, which means that you learn to embrace change, then you'll naturally develop the most valuable characteristics of and be able to stand strong from a stance of leadership. And so there are 6 of the many qualities and habits that I'm going to speak to you today about when it comes to becoming a good leader in society and just really evolving into that leader. Those 7 qualities and habits include humility, authenticity, respect, owning your mistakes, managing your power, and then finally, developing purpose-driven relationships. And I'll add them to the chat later when I finish. So the first thing about becoming a good and effective leader is honing in on humility. And what that means to be humble is not about dimming your light. A lot of people will say, oh, you've got to, tucker down and dim your light, but it's not about dimming your light. It's about allowing your light, as beautiful as it is, as bright and bold as it is, to shine, and never stop shining. But while you're allowing that light to shine brightly, make sure that you're also willing to share the light with others, especially your sisters, okay? That means that you are going to be able to win people over, and you will also indirectly show others that you care about them in doing so, okay? That's the first thing. The second that I want you to focus on is authenticity. I know that we've heard this a lot, but authenticity in being able to show up as your best and truest form is really about reading the room. I think that's what you all are saying today. Read the room when you walk in, girl. Read the room when you're on the social media. It's called managing perception. And managing perception, the key to that is to really having the awareness and the ability to adapt in the moment or according to the situation. It's about knowing which part of ourselves or which parts of our personalities we want to reveal, when to do so, and with whom. When you manage authenticity well, then you're giving a person an opportunity to get to know who you are without them being repelled or without them having sticker shock. Clap if you understand where I'm coming from. Okay, awesome. So the next that I want you guys to really embrace is respect. So important. Never compare yourself to others, because understand being unique is your value in this world, and it's highly valued by others. But the next thing about respect is to respect yourself by showing respect to others. Always respect yourself first, but what it means to have respect for yourself and to also give respect to others includes having a backbone, being clear about the boundaries that you set and sticking to them, and then speaking up for yourself at the right times and in the right places and in an effective manner, okay? Think of the person who you respect and love the most in life. Think of how you feel or what you would feel like if someone came along out of the blue and disrespected that person. Now, when you think of that mood that you'd be in, then keep that respect in the forefront by enduring challenging times, but making sure that the very thought of that, the way you want to be respected and the way that you want others to respect those in your life comes to mind, okay? Respect yourself first and respect others. Next, own your mistakes, ladies. Everyone, even the greatest in our lives, makes mistakes, but not all understand how to come back from those mistakes. So the best way to own our mistakes, no matter how bad it may be, is to, one, learn from your mistake, and number two, use those lessons to grow yourself and those around you. All right? I don't know if I can say that any plainer, but learn from your mistakes, meaning sit back, think about what happened, what could have been done differently, and how can I change it going forward? And then use those lessons to grow from your mistakes and then also help others out. That means share your testimony. We hear the older people say all the time, I got a testimony to share. Well, that testimony comes from the mistakes and what you learn from those mistakes, okay? Next, I want you to learn how to manage your power. What happens to you can be the thing that happens for you if you find creative ways to deal with the situations. That means that you don't allow yourself to dwell on bad times or bad memories or bad situations, but you learn from those times, memories, and situations. You learn how to turn horrible situations such as assault or bullying into good things by finding creative ways to stand up to those moments. You stand up to those situations or those moments by getting others like your teachers or like your families members, maybe your sister or your big brother, involved. And when you get them involved, clearly explain to them what the situation is, what you're going through, what you're feeling, what you're facing, and then ask them for advice on help on how to deal with individuals or groups of people. You never know how the outcome may be, but when you stand up to the situation or when you stand up to the problem directly, then you'll take your power back, okay? So finding creative ways to deal with the situations is how you'll be able to manage and take your power back. Finally, I want you to really, really focus on, and start doing this now, is to focus on developing purpose-driven relationships now and throughout your life. Because at your age, I'm very sure your friends are everything to you. But remember that you encounter all types of people from different backgrounds who come from different upbringings, sometimes not so great upbringings, but there are going to be 3 types of people that you need to pay close attention to, and those relationships you need to develop. Be mindful of who you follow and allow to pour into you. Know that a person can only teach and exemplify what they know and what they have grown through. And so anything that you learn from those around you today will stick with you throughout the rest of your life. The next, they're going to be the people who grow with you. Learn the differences between confidants, comrades, and constituents. You'll need all three of these people at one point or another in life, but remember that your confidants will come a dime a dozen or few and very far in between. They'll be the ones like your best friend that you can tell your truest, deepest, darkest secrets to, and you can trust them not to ever expose it to anybody, not even when you're angry. The second type of person is going to be your constituent. These people won't always be your friends, but they will come around and fight for the same things that you're fighting for. Remember, they'll fight for what you're fighting for, not against you and not against what you're fighting for. They're going to believe in what you believe in, okay? And sometimes they can become friends. The third type of person that I want you to focus on is your comrades. These individuals will show up for you and fight against whatever you're fighting for. How many of you all have been paying attention to the recent protests on the news lately? Quite a few of you. Have you noticed that the protests and the messaging of the protests has taken on different forms as more people have joined in? Raise your hand if you have. What that means is you've got different types of people out there fighting. You've got people who came together as friends or confidants and they're in this together. Then you've got constituents who are fighting for the same thing. And then you have comrades who are simply there to fight against a thing. Be mindful of the people who you allow in your life because you're going to have those three in every phase of them. If you want to surround yourself with purpose-driven relationships, focus on becoming valuable in society through self-respect, by setting a good example, and by being of service to others. And then seek to add value to others. Next, look for the value in others that will suit your goals. Any questions? How many of you, or what do you believe it means to evolve in life? Anyone?
I feel like evolving means to go above and beyond and not just doing something good or great, but just going over.
That's a good one. Thanks, Amaya. Anybody else? I'm seeing that to change from who you previously were, that you're not afraid of change. It means developing, to be around the things in life, personal improvement. These are good comments, ladies. You guys can unmute yourselves if you want to talk to me. I like talking.
I think it means to grow spiritually and mentally and to become a better person.
Awesome. Anyone else? To grow in life, I'm seeing some really good comments. Evolving means all of these things that you all have put into the comments and all the things that you have said. You want to continue to grow as young women, young ladies, so that you can hone in on becoming what it really means to be a leader. You have to embrace those things. It's called being a change manager, but it's evolving, and it's called embracing that change.
I saw someone put on here, it means to be better than you were before. And I really like that because I know a lot of people that live by the, like, I guess, saying of being a better person the next day. Like, you know, every day you want to wake up and be a better person than you were yesterday. There we go. But yeah, I like that one.
Thank you, Carrie.
All right. Are there any more questions for Miss Meredith? Okay, I had to step outside But thank you so much, Miss Meredith. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, for listening and participating. You all have been amazing. You all are beautiful. And I see a whole lot of future leaders on this call.
All right, and she's typed in that information for all of you, the 6 important qualities and habits of becoming good leaders. So please take note of that, and we will get her information to you as well. So as we close out, I'm so excited that we have one more cash prize to give. One more cash prize to give. And Corellis, you have that last name, don't you?
Yes, I do. And the winner is Camille Usher.
All right, Camille. Congratulations, Camille, and to all of the others. And like I said, we'll do one more special one. So make sure that you get us your info if you don't have social media. And then we will randomly choose one of you who do not have social media and make sure you get that prize as well. And that cash will be coming to you this evening. So look for it in your Cash App, your Venmo. And we're so excited to have each of you joining us today. We look forward to the next one because we will do another one. This has been great. And to my trainers, thank you so much. Each of you were absolutely outstanding. Dr. Lacey, tell the young ladies where you're from.
I am here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So the high today, it's like a heat wave. It was 80 degrees, so we're rocking it for summer. Summer lasts a week here. Not really, but it feels like it.
5 seconds of words of wisdom.
5 seconds of words of wisdom. Never forget that who you are designed to be is already there. You simply have to tap into her. And from process to practice, grab your stilettos and let's go.
Great.
Hello.
Mary, tell the young ladies where you're from, where you are now, and 5 seconds of wisdom.
Who is that? Oh, me, Sabrina. I'm Sabrina Samuels. I live in the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, from Florida, where beautiful Miss Samantha still lives. And I want you to know, you are a winner. Know it in your heart and soul to be true. And with hard work and perseverance, we will continue to move forward and to the top.
All right, Miss Meredith, where are you? And 5 seconds of wisdom.
I am in Dallas, Texas, from Mississippi, as you know. I want you all to remember to always pay attention to your natural talents and abilities, what you enjoy the most, and chase purpose over everything.
Love it. Miss Christine, where are you? And 5 seconds of words of wisdom.
I am in Tallahassee, Florida, and my 5 seconds words of wisdom is just let God take control.
Yes. And our Dr. Gabrielle had to go to another meeting. So Miss Audra, close us out, please. Where are you located? And
Tallahassee. I am in Tallahassee, Florida, and I have 2 quotes for you. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of intent. That's my first one. And the second one is by Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you to each and every lady who joined us today. We appreciate you. Stay in contact with us for all the amazing things to come. Have a great evening.
Bye, ladies.
Thank you all.
Bye, ladies.